In this video, we are going to see how we can automate the final part of our reconciliation journey. This is, you can think this is part 3 of the series. In the part 1, we have seen how to validate source, extract and loading. Then in the part 2, we checked how to extract target and validate the load into the reconciliation database. So these two are done. Also, we did a assert record count on both the source and the target, and this is the bit we have to do in this video. So before we proceed, we can definitely get into our automation script and see what we have done. So the first step, in the first step, we created the entities, which is nothing but ddl.sql. We created the recon schema and loaded both source and target extracts. So this is the source extract will load here and validated. Then we loaded the target extract and validated here. So far everything is fine and everything is green. All the tests passed. So if you have a bird's view, this is how it looks. So I'm giving a recap so that you can catch up with the current video. So the very first step we did is this: create recon db schema and the desired entities. Then we loaded the source extract and asserted. Then we loaded the target extract and asserted. So we have stopped there. So we can put a comment here. Load source CSV extract. Load target CSV extract. You might have seen a lot of videos and online documentation that JSON doesn't support comment, but that's wrong. It perfectly supports comment. And if I run my scenario right now, see run, it won't give any errors. Perfectly fine. Okay. So if you see some kind of syntax error here in this line, that doesn't mean JSON doesn't support. That means your ID or the tool you are using, that is highlighting, and they are using a very old or outdated parser or some kind of JSON comment. They have not enabled it. That's why they see the error. Okay. Anyway, that's not the focus of this video. I'm just showing you JSON supports comment and it's perfectly fine. Okay. Now let's get back to our strategy document where we wanted to do the final recon bit where it will give all the statistics, because until now we have everything ready. What we expect, what we expected as a source count and target count, we have loaded that into the recon database. So if you go to the recon database here and refresh it, here we have those tables and we have the source tables and we have the target persons of our desired outcome. So these are only for example purpose, but you may have a number of columns here, 5, 10, 20 columns and thousands of rows. It doesn't matter. You just have to execute a query that will give everything. Okay. So we have kept everything ready. Also, we have validated that these two entities in the recon database holds correct data, and we are ready to proceed with our reconciliation process. Okay. Now to do that, we'll take help of. So we'll write here run full or final reconciliation process. Okay, that's what we're going to do. So we can simply copy one of the step and do here, but we'll take up the help. The document. So we'll go to the database testing and DB executor. Okay. So to execute a step, we'll pick this, which is nothing but execute step. Okay, this is load, this is execute. Okay, this is also execute here. Okay, so let's can copy this line, just Command C or Control C, it copies and paste it here. Okay, but see, it is highlighting a error because the comma is missing here. Put a comma, so everything's fine. We'll change the step name here, run full reconciliation process. Run and validate full reconciliation. Okay, execute. Now SQL file, we don't have a SQL file. We'll type here full reconciliation.sql, and it is under the SQL folder. We'll copy this, and where is our SQL folder? On the left side, it's here. Create that file full reconciliation.sql. Okay, it's an empty file. Now we need to extract the stats, so we'll go back. So this is the query, this is the full, this is the big query, this is the full. Copy this and we have to run it automatically, so paste it here. Okay, and in the earlier video we have seen email ID given issue, so it's not an issue, but our script is expecting email here, so you just replace email ID with email and do a match with a word and see around 8 matches has come and replace all. Okay, so that's it, our script is ready. Now we have to have our assertions, which is missing here. Okay, what we are expecting as assertion, is it here? No, it's not here. So let's run this query in our SQL workbench, which is data grid here. Clear everything, paste it. Yeah, now give a run. Okay, Control enter or command enter is to run. Now it gave the stats. So as you know, the automation testing framework or the testing script which we are writing here, here, definitely here, that is going to convert the output to a JSON so that we can assert very easily. Just copy paste, it will assert. Okay, so this will become key, value. So this check type is a key, source count is a key, target count is a key, status is a key, and check types value is this, source count value is this, target count value is this, status count value is this. Then this will repeat in an array here. This is second element, third element, fourth element. That's what we want to fit into. Okay, so let's run the script, then we can copy paste and fit those assertions. Let's see if it is, if everything is fine. We are executing it, which is matching with our operations. Then SQL, instead of SQL query, we can give the SQL query here as well, but it's a big one. So if you want to give in JSON, you have to format it, make it a single line, remove all the slash ends, then fit it. So instead, we are copying it to a full reconcile file where it retains the format, very nice to read and very elegant SQL, and just give that path. Both works. And finally, when it executes, it will expand it and make it in a single line. We'll see that. Okay. So our reconciliation thing is ready. So if everything's fine, this test will pass because we don't have anything here assertion. Then we'll go and fit the assertion. Okay. So let's just make it run first. Go to our runner and run, or go to the CLI and run. Either way. Okay. Let's run it here. So it has run, and let's see one by one what it has run. So it has done the first step where it created everything, source loaded and asserted, then finally target loaded and asserted, then finally it ran the full reconciliation process. Okay, in that SQL it made it a single line. You see, it removed all the slash and things and all, and it's a big SQL query. That's why if you want to run it, you have to wait. But we have given this task to the script, the framework, so it is managing behind the scene, so we don't have to worry much. Now the execution is done here, and it gave a response. A response, it has converted, as I said, it has converted the output, this output, into JSON. Simple. There's nothing hype going on here. So just converting the rows to JSON so that you can assert. Because we are not expecting anything, that means we are telling the framework that whatever comes, you pass it. So it passed the test. Now time to fit assertion. Because we know the outcome, we'll go and fit that into the expectation block here. Okay, and we'll make it a little bit elegant here. Now let's format it, which is Command Alt L. See, formatted like this. We'll make it a row view. Even in the JSON you can make that way also. Go to this and make it single line so that you can read nicely without changing the data. Okay, so what the output is saying, that we should have no email mismatches, which is data mismatches, in the source and in the target. If that is the case, then status is passed. Same way, we should see what is missing in the source, which is extra in the target. That should be 0 as well. Then the status is pass. Same way, available in the source and missing in the target, that count also should be 0. Then it passed. And we are doing additional record count, which is this one is not necessary to validate, but we are still doing it, and status is passed. So now if you run this, okay, so fine, and if you remove this line count, which is not necessary, it will still pass. See, it's still passed. You will see in your assertion there is no count matching. Okay, but we'll put it back just because we are going to introduce some known errors. Intentionally we'll introduce some errors and validate. Okay, so that's pretty much, we are done the automation. So this is the bit where we are creating the entities via DDL. Is common for both. Then we did the source validation, then we did the target validation, then now we run the full reconciliation. Okay, so our full automation script is ready, and if you expand it, this is how it looks. Slightly bigger, but it is doing the job. Now you can do a squeeze of everything, and it will show you the steps. Okay, so now let's remove these comments. It's not looking very elegant. Remove it. I just showed you for understanding purpose. Okay, so that's pretty much we are done. Now it's time to introduce some known errors. Now in the final step, we are going to introduce some intentional errors here, so that when this runs, it will catch the bugs in the reconciliation process. Okay, to do that, we'll go and introduce in the recon schema source database here, we'll add additional row here. That means we are adding a row into the source which is not available in the targeted. Okay, let's put some ID. It's next ID 25 and Steve. Okay, and submit it. Commit basically. If you don't commit, then it won't be available in the automation script. Now we have introduced this additional count in the source, and your ETL process run and the target data doesn't have. So when your automation script runs in CI/CD line or CI/CD pipeline, or you run it manually from your laptop, it should catch. Okay, this should catch. Now let's run it and see. But I'm expecting it will fail even earlier as well, because we are doing count validation. Let's see. No, it didn't fail. You know why? It didn't fail because when the automation script runs, it cleans all this data, so it doesn't take care of our thing. Let's say source customer. See, this row is gone from here. Okay, so that is the thing. So now we have to do it a slightly different way. Go to this script and let's expand everything. Those, where is our source customer? Yeah, so source customer CSV will introduce double shift or command shift N, so it takes you directly to that file. Okay, here source customer CSV, duplicate this line, command D, then introduce this error, extra line basically, Steve. Okay, so you have extracted from the source which has an additional row here, but when you extract from target, that's not there, which is intentionally you are doing it. Think in the real scenario this happens, what will our reconciliation job do? Let's run it, and it failed. Of course, it might have failed much earlier. I think so. You see, loading itself failed. Loading didn't fail, assertion failed. So it has loaded, but it's saying the size is 3 now because additional row, and so we'll fix that assertion. It's not a big deal. Which is this step. This step and size is 3. And let's rerun it. Here, right click, run. Yes, it's failed again, which we were expecting, and let's see how far it has gone. So it has passed that source stage, passed that target stage as well. and target loading validation also done. Now the final reconciliation bit has failed, which we expected. And why it failed? What is the actual output? Actual output is here. We are expecting, this is the actual output, source count 1 and 0, and actual output is total source count is 3 here, target was 2 here, but our expected is everything 0 because we were thinking that it's a perfect ETL pipeline and there are no errors. See, source count 2, target count 2, no errors, but there are errors, so it failed. That's what we are expecting, a failure. So don't go and fix this script. Okay, so you stop here and report this problem, raise a Jira ticket and bring it to the developer or the ETL consultant's attention that our reconciliation is failing and there is something wrong in the ETL pipeline, and raise a defect, immediately raise a defect and highlight it. That's pretty much we have covered the automated reconciliation process end to end. And the next video you can have a look how the reports and things are generated, how you can search by author, how you can see the overall statistics. Go and watch that video, that's also very helpful. And also you can have a quick look at the log file to trace anything here. Okay, so this has got all audit and execution logs in a very nicely JSON format. You can go and analyze and debug whenever the test fails. Okay, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. So now at this point we have finished this and these steps, so we are done. Okay.